Are we on? Oh my gosh. What's up, guys? Joel VALLIE from Media Glitch here. And I am here with my friend. Why don't you introduce yourself, my man?
My name's Travis.
Travis. Now, Travis is a friend of mine. We've known each other for quite a bit of time now. We've worked together in some instances in life, right?
Yep.
And Travis is a gamer, and that we used to just sit around and talk all the time about
Nothing
games
but
when we
games.
should have been working.
We did talk about movies too, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but we talked a lot about games, and I always wanted to have him come on the show, review something. Now you got an Oculus Rift, so when I was sent a VR game, I'm like, I don't have an Oculus Rift. Oculus, if you want to send that to me, that's fine. We can change things, but for the moment, I don't have an Oculus Rift. So who do I call? I call the man that I know has an Oculus Rift, and that would be you.
That would be me. Yep.
So today you're going to talk about a game. Why don't you just?
So you graciously handed over a game for me to take a look at, which seemed like a lot of fun, to talk about in the first place. It's a game called Prevent the Fall. It's a dungeon crawler. Right now, you're seeing it in a non-VR, third-person perspective. It's really cool. It's randomly generated, procedurally generated environments that you can go into every time, and different NPCs.
Oh, nice! It
characters.
changes.
It does. It changes
wow.
every single time. And of course, there's a loot system that's inside of it. There's all kinds of cool stuff, combat and whatnot. Different weapons that you can upgrade. There's materials you can gather, money, gold, things of that nature. It's a ton of fun. I found myself in the beginning, struggling to get used to the controls. I think the controls were a little iffy when it came to the PC, side of the house, mouse and keyboard. Things weren't locking on properly. You were having a lot of, just issues in general with things connecting and registering. So that was kind of interesting. But other than that, I found myself, wanting to go in there and see the next environment. What's going to be the next room? This one you're looking at is the sewer environment. There was a ton more. I ran into like castle environments or things that look like castles. There was like rock pits where you fought goblins and you were fighting these giant spiders in the environments. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun though.
And then this is non-VR that we're looking at.
Yeah,
correct?
non-VR.
So let's talk about VR.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so VR, how does that feel when you're?
It's disorienting at first, but it's actually pretty cool. The weapons that you would see in the non-VR version, transferred directly over to the VR version. What is interesting though is like as you hold, I use an Oculus Touch, and as you hold it like a gun.
That sounds sexy.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You hold it like a gun, but the sword is actually angled upwards through. It's hard to explain. It just doesn't make sense. When you're holding it, you're supposed to feel like you're holding a sword.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like it. It feels like the sword's out of place.
Oh, okay.
So you have to like adjust your hands to get it straight. And as you go through it, the first thing I did was like, how do you move? How do you go through there? Because if you start pushing forward on the thumbsticks, it'll move you forward, and you start feeling like you're gonna get sick.
Okay.
I had to find the teleport,
which is
function.
a big problem with VR today.
Huge,
right now.
huge problem.
For me, anyway.
Well, for most people.
If I play any VR, I'm all my lunch is coming out.
Exactly.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and that's a very common thing. So I'm glad that they implemented a sort of teleport, function into it, like most Oculus Touch titles are today.
Batman VR is that way.
Batman VR is that way. I mean,
Epic.
It's just a very good way to solve that issue of how do you get somebody to move to a space without them feeling like they're being drug along or getting sick.
Right.
And that's pretty neat. But you also notice, I don't know if you saw that there. I think it's going to replay this same thing again. But what happens is, as you press the buttons, there's so many buttons going on, and there's no UI to really explain how there's going on in VR. You actually lose control of things, and you actually start changing your control layout by accident. I had it happen to me multiple times. See how it just changed right there?
Right.
And I couldn't figure out how to get it back to where it was. So there's some bugs, there's some issues, there's nothing major. But I will say this, those things in VR are terrifying. The arachnids.
Not a spider fan? Do you have arachnophobia?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it's just terrifying to see a giant spider come at you in VR.
Oh, I bet. So, but it must be interesting. Like, I can't wait to get to the day where I can play an RPG like Phantasy Star or Final Fantasy.
Right.
Well, we have Skyrim VR coming out
That's
soon
gonna be
too.
amazing. Yeah.
Holy smokes!
Fallout
Are you kidding
VR?
me? Fallout VR. These things I'm looking forward to. So it's cool to see like kind of the steps.
Exactly.
You know, and this is kind of, where would you place that? Kind of in the middle, huh?
This game
Yeah.
in particular, I'd say it's in the infancy stage.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's still in the beginning. The thoughts are there. You know, the idea of putting a dungeon crawler into virtual reality, I think, is a really cool idea. I think that it's something that we should look forward to. But I think
You said there were some problems with like the UI.
yeah, the
right?
UI itself, and we can actually probably show that here. The UI itself is wonky, not only in VR but in out of VR mode. In order for you to select it, you have to kind of look up and down. You can see my camera moving around, and then I couldn't figure out how to get your inventory in virtual reality over to your actual equipment. You know, see how I'm dragging things over to put equipment on.
It's not working.
Some of it wouldn't register in VR, and what would happen in the VR, the UI overlay. And I apologize for not getting into that footage, but
You bastard.
it would
Should have got it for me.
it was too
You're
sickening.
lucky you
it made me
apologized because
sick.
we were gonna go outside.
Right.
A minute.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. Okay, go
man.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say it all separated, so the UI on top of it got kind of confusing. This game is available for $15 on Steam. I don't think that it's available on any console platform like the PlayStation. I know it's available for the Vive and the Oculus. I just don't think that this is a game that is worth the $15 price tag.
Right.
I don't think it's fully thought out yet. I think the idea is there, and there's some sort of thing happening that's going to make that game good.
Oh, that was a
one day.
nice little troll you did.
It took a long time to figure out that there were more controls hidden into the game.
Yeah, that was.
You see that? So, like,
yeah,
even
I like
my
that little dance move you did.
You just like do this like
Look at that.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. Once I figured that out, it was like I spammed
that was your
that
move. That was your
it.
move.
And then there's
so
like
good.
these. I don't think I showed.
How
this
does
one.
that look in VR?
In VR?
Oh my gosh.
You don't do that in VR.
Okay, I was gonna say you would like throw up.
Right,
if you,
exactly.
If,
Just
if
imagine
that was
the
in
room.
VR. Oh my gosh, like.
Check this out. This one's cool too. This is a fire staff that shoots fireballs. You can do like a flame tornado between a bunch. It took me a while to figure out how to get that button schematic to actually work and function that way.
Is it better to play in this mode or in VR?
I think this mode.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't have an Oculus Rift, they can still play.
Yeah, exactly.
In this mode, it runs. It looks like it's running at 60 frames per
It is.
second.
I was actually
So-
averaging, I think, on this game well over 140.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
So at least they got that right.
It's optimized to the point where it runs well. The question is how many dungeons can you go through before you find yourself getting bored? There's no story. There's no
story.
There's
Music?
There is music. The music is actually awesome in this game. I think that was probably my favorite part, is that the game had an awesome soundtrack.
Well, here, we'll shut up and let it. That is pretty awesome.
It is.
music,
Yeah.
For sure.
All
right.
So yeah, there's it's a cool little dungeon crawler. It's something that you can maybe pass the time by if you're just wanted to go and kill some mobs over and over again. Yeah.
Right on. So there's probably better titles you could recommend on the Oculus Rift, but there's a good. Sounds like they have a good concept. Just needs a lot of polishing.
Exactly.
Is what from what I hear.
And they sound from what I've researched, they sound like a young developer.
Okay.
So.
Right on. Well, thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
For
glad
being
to
on
be
the
here.
show.
Thanks for
It's
inviting
his first
me.
review, guys. Go easy on him. Yeah. Look, we got applause in the studio. No, you did good. You did good,
Thanks,
man.
thanks.
And he said he was nervous. He said he
A
was
little
nervous
bit.
when you
I think
walked
it's
on.
the heat. I just feel hot.
It is hot. If you've never visited the studio, it is hot. This
feel
is
like
hot. We have air conditioning, but we
I feel
can't
like
run
I'm
it because it's so
glossy
loud.
right now. Do you see my skin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can like. Oh my goodness, it's rank. After like 4 episodes, it starts smelling good up in the Media Glitch studio. So, but thank you so much for your time, Travis. Appreciate it. Hey guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know that you love us in the comment section below, and we'll let you know that we love you too. And thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time. See ya.